at the same time. It's really easy to pick up, but there's actually like a lot of fighting technical. It's actually a fairly deep technical fighter. Like you get in there, it's easy to pick up, but a challenge to master. And if you really get into it, like we still have fun playing it. Like we've been playing it for months and months and months, and we still get in there, and it's like any good fighting game. It never stops being fun.
That's what I'm talking about. Now, as far as the story mode, right? Now, is the story mode designed around this same like gameplay as far as like the Smash Bros, or is there like a completely different way of playing the game in single player campaign mode?
Well, we're not talking too much about the story mode now because, dude, we got to build up the excitement. We can't just show everything right now.
I want this.
Listen, you just got to keep coming back. But we do have some additional stuff in the story mode. We call it arcade mode, but we're not showing it quite yet. But come back and we'll show you everything later.
That's what I'm talking about. Well, so far you've seen the game, and the game looks crazy. And just by having Splinter, just by having Shredder, and my man Casey Jones, everybody up in there, you got a successful Turtle game. And this is 25-year anniversary, so make sure you go out there and make sure you buy this game. Yo, Alex, I don't know what else to say, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you, man.
Great demo, great game, and it seems like you covered all the areas for all the fans out there, man.
Hopefully they'll love it.
All right, that's what I'm talking about. So any shout-outs you want to make right quick?
Cowabunga.
Cowabunga, gangsta. I like that. Peace.
Yeah, your boy is back talking about the general news right now. Now check this out, because this needs to be said, alright? Like, Square Enix, supporting Microsoft only, I'm telling you, in my opinion, has been their major downfall. And the reason why I say that is because, I understand what Microsoft is trying to do. You know what I'm saying? To try to get a lot of, JRPGs on their system so they can have that type of presence in Japan. But it didn't work, straight up. Now, Square Enix should have known that after the first game, or the second game, whatever it is, they should have known that, wait a minute, like, this ain't working, we need to, change the plans. You know what I'm saying? So all this, Star Ocean and Last Remnant stuff, it's like, when you look at these games and how they're treated, it's like it's like the PlayStation 3 don't even exist. Yet, it has a bigger install base out there. You know what I'm saying? So, regardless of how much money like Microsoft spent or they spent anything to get certain games or whatever, look at how Final Fantasy is being handled. Now check this out. Now yes, the name alone is going to drive sales, but think about it like this. Final Fantasy is going to be on a 360, right? But it's exclusive in Japan for the PlayStation 3. That's smart. You want to know why? It's because Square Enix is covering all the major bases where they can be successful at, looking at the demographic of how things sell. So good and well, the RPGs wasn't doing what you thought they was going to do on the 360 out in Japan. But in America, games overall sell like crazy for 360, so throw your game on there. You feel me? And then Japan, as far as for Sony, put it everywhere, because everybody is familiar with Final Fantasy and PlayStation in the same sentence. You see what I'm saying? And their games do better in Japan than Microsoft. Simple. By sticking with Microsoft too close, it actually seems like it kicked Square Enix in the ass. Now, I'm telling you right now, and this is serious business. This is serious, okay? If Square Enix don't deliver on these upcoming Final Fantasies, and when I mean Final Fantasy 13, Versus 13, and 14, if they don't deliver for some reason, or if they catch themselves not making no profit and they're in the red and stuff like that, drastic times call for drastic measures. Now, what's their last resort? Nintendo Wii. And I'm telling you right now, don't be surprised if you start seeing major systems like PS3 and 360 miss out on major games for the sake of Nintendo Wii. Now, I'll give you an example, right? Kingdom Hearts. We haven't heard about this game yet or nothing like that, and hopefully it's still coming to the PS3 or whatever, but that's the type of game that has what characters? Disney. What console is the kitty of the world? Nintendo Wii. Don't be surprised if Square Enix don't do well with a lot of their major blockbuster titles that they spend so much money on, don't be surprised that they're going to take a little bit of money and focus it only on the Wii and take one of their major titles and make it only for the Wii, and then Kingdom Hearts won't be the hardcore game that we all love and expect to see on the next generation platform. You see what I'm saying? These are the scenarios and situations that can happen. So you know the drill. Leave your comments, man, for real. Come to my site, leave your comments, let me know what you think so we can chop it up and talk about this, because this is crazy, and I feel that, you know, Square Enix, by them sticking to Microsoft and Microsoft only a bit too close, was their main downfall. Nobody even talks about Square too much like that. Come on, that's crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, you gotta really keep that in mind. Because there was a point in time, especially on PlayStation 1 and 2, that Square was like, whoa. Now, Square's still whoa, but it's like, whoa. Like, they ain't doing as good as they was. You feel me? So, just stay tuned to that, because that's crazy. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is Alan Wake. And will it be a flop? And the reason why I say that is because Alan Wake is starting to look like too human to me. And the reason why I say that, you know, Alan Wake has been in development for mad long. Too Human was in development for mad long. When it came out, it wasn't as good as what they, you know, was showing or whatever. Now, Alan Wake, it do look good, you know what I'm saying? But out of all that time in development, this next generation, what we saw looked good, but come on, there's gotta be more. Now, as far from an interview that just recently happened, I believe with Destructoid, they was talking about they was gonna have one major story, and basically, depending on the success of the first game, we may see a second story. You know what I'm saying? So that right there is kind of inevitable if the Alan Wake is successful. But you gotta look at this, right? Already, Alan Wake is being looked at as a Silent Hill clone. Nobody wants the clone of anything. You know what I'm saying? I'll give you an example. Quantum. People look at Quantum as another Gears of War. So a lot of people may buy it, but it's not going to be a big smash, over-the-top hit, just because, you know, people is going to look at that as a Gears of War ripoff. And the reason why is because Gears of War came out first, and the game looks similar to Gears, but it does so many things different. But people ain't trying to hear that, because before they play or touch, they see. You see what I'm saying? Now, if you look at, you know, Alan Wake's scenario and you see Two Humans, you see a major similarity. So will it be a flop? Actually, it may be. And the reason why I say that is because when you got games like Halo, ODST, and Splinter Cell, you know, on your console exclusively, you know, then you got Call of Duty coming out and all these games. You know, where does Alan Wake really stack up? Dead Space was a huge, hot game, and it didn't do as good as it could have, just because the surrounding titles was more known and more guaranteed for that $60 purchase that, you know, Dead Space didn't get the proper shine it should have. Now, Alan Wake, from what they've shown, it looks good, but it's nothing. I mean, when people seen Uncharted 2, they was like, oh shoot, like, Uncharted? Like, oh shit, like it was like that. They saw Alan Wake, they was like, oh, that look crazy, that look good. Next game, like, you know what I'm saying? That's the treatment right there, you know. And nobody talks about Alan Wake until the company talks about Alan Wake. You know what I mean? But when you got games like Uncharted and all this other stuff, these is games that you hear about all day, every day, all the time. It's always in the minds and hearts of gamers. You see what I'm saying? Alan Wake may very well be like a flop, man. You know what I'm saying? So stay tuned to that, because if Alan Wake is a flop, then Remedy will make another game, but most likely it will be multi-platform. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, that right there is things like that that you have to know about your business. If you don't get away, you got a product that's long time in the making, and not enough people is talking about it, or you know what I mean, or whatever. You need to do something dramatic. You need to do something drastic. You need to show something to get people talking about your game so much to the point where it's gonna sell on its own. That's not happening with Alan Wake right now. So will it be a flop? It's a higher than 50% chance that this game is gonna flop, even if the game is hot. Now, when I say flop, I don't mean the game is gonna be bad. I'm just talking about the way it's perceived in the industry right now. It's a game that can easily be overlooked. You know what I'm saying? Just because of the history and what's going on with it. You feel me? Nobody like titles that's like vaporware, then they come back and show something, then it disappears. It's too inconsistent to that. Alright? Now, something that I heard that I'm praying happens. But you remember the Super Punch Out that just came out on the Nintendo Wii? That joint is fire on the Wii too, dog. If you don't got it, go cop it. It's crazy. But this game may be coming to the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. Now, what's so cool about this particular situation is that, like, it's supposed to, this particular game, you know, if they decide to really go forth and do it, like, the promotion would be having the Mike Tyson Punch Out game, like the old Punch Out game. You know what I'm saying? Like, to be like, I'm not sure, but released beside it. That's what he said? Yeah, like released beside it. So it's like when the PS3 version come out, and then on PSN you get Mike Tyson Punch Out. You know what I'm saying? And you know on 360 or Xbox Live Arcade you get Mike Tyson Punch Out along with the Super Punch Out game. You know what I'm saying? And the cool thing about it is that it's supposed to, you know, have more features, better graphics, but overall roughly the same game. You know what I mean? So obviously it's going to be a port. But hopefully this goes through. If it don't go through, I'll be pissed. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't like hearing about stuff and then it don't happen. But whatever I hear, I'll let you guys know. So if it comes true, great. If it don't, well, at least I, you know, it didn't. You know what I'm saying? But I like to let my fans know as soon as I hear anything or whatever, you guys are going to know so I can keep you guys in the loop. Now, also, don't forget to subscribe. Alright, because one of the new things that I'm doing right now is that I know everybody, including me, we go on the net, we surf, we look up things, we look at news, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, for the webmasters, we post stuff and keep our site running. But instead of you guys always having to, you know, search the net and go find the news, I want to be able to bring the news to you. You know what I'm saying? So make sure you subscribe so I get your email address, put you in the email list, and whenever exclusives come through or anything come through that may not even be on the net yet, you know what I'm saying? You'll have it in your inbox, and you know, then you could go check out the article right from there, and you know, just continue to support. All right, HipHopGamerShow.com, and we're about to go back to some Ubisoft footage, and we're gonna then we're gonna close it out with the HipHopRss news feed. And trust me, you're gonna love it. You wanna know why? Because Fantasy Freestyle is back. Jay-Z versus Kanye West. You do not want to miss it. So one love and God bless. Join the forum, support the site, register to the site as well. You know, get your password. We doing it big. We doing it real big right now. All right. So stay tuned. Peace.
Alright, yo, I'm telling y'all right now, this is going to be the best interview ever because I'm trying to go fast and do it hot, but we got Red Steel 2, and it's going to be crazy. I got the creative director here, my man Jason, he's crazy, yo, he like the Wizard of Oz or something like that, but gangster. Like, this is my dog right here. But we about to check out Red Steel 2, and yes, I know there's no blood, alright, you don't got to tell me, I know, you know what I'm saying, but he actually gave me a good reason why. What's that reason again?
Well, you know, if you're coming into town, you're going to be a hero and save the world. If you're cutting guys' hands off and cutting off their heads, I don't know. It's tough for me to believe that guy's a hero.
There you have it for the creative director itself, so shut up if you don't like it, whatever, still by the game. Now, I'm going to tell you something right now. One of the most amazing things about this game is, you know, when you play in third-person games, you see a whole lot of combos and all this action, right? Now, imagine seeing those combos and those actions, but from a first-person perspective. The shit is completely different, and without the blood, it doesn't even matter. The satisfaction is still there. So creating Red Steel 2, what was one of your first like changes? Like, you was like, okay, Red Steel 1 came out, did this thing, but Red Steel 2, what was your first like focuses on this game?
Wii Motion Plus. Getting the Wii Motion Plus, man, it changed everything for us. We were a gun game with swords in it. We got the Wii Motion Plus, we're like, screw that, we're gonna be a sword game with guns in it.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. And the Wii Motion Plus obviously is doing wonders because, am I correct, if somebody tries to hit you like this, you gotta turn the sword and block like that, and then if you wanna come from the side, you go to the side. That right there alone, like, makes this game, you know, definitely worth the purchase. 2 minutes left. All right, so let's take a look at some stuff.
Our hero is being dragged through his worst day ever. He's just coming along here, but I'm going to skip this and get to some gameplay. So we're going to load right up real quick here and show you a few things. So we've completely done a new art look, new setting, new character, new hero. So the Red Steel 1, that's over, and we've moved on into Red Steel 2. I'm going to show you some new gameplay. It's all based on the Wii Motion Plus exclusive. We're going to be bundled with the Wii Motion Plus when we come out, which is pretty cool.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. That's what I'm talking about. A game that takes advantage of it and, you know, supports it from day one. So check it out.
Show you a couple things about the Wii Motion Plus. So in our game here, who we are, and I'm just holding on to this to swing. You just like that. So you just go high. I'm just gonna cut this guy in half like that.
It is very. Is it very responsive? It's not hard, right?
It's incredibly responsive, very easy. And if you look here, you can see see how I'm turning the blade. See I'm turning the blade like that. And see this? I can turn it like this and like this and like this. It's all pretty fucking cool. And then if you want to shoot, you just pull the trigger. Okay? That's the game. Crazy. That's the game. All right, let's go into combat. I'll show you.
But that's pretty easy. Like just like boom, boom, and then shoot. That's easy. And another thing about the game, like the fact that it is that easy, regardless of blood or no blood, you're gonna have fun. And the fun factor is what sells the game.
That's it. That's it, baby. It's all about having a good time. Hitting things is fun. That was my core idea. You know, hitting things is fun. So here we go. I'm gonna show you a little bit of combat.
All right, show me a little bit of combat, then we gonna go. So.
Finish move there.
Oh, shoot, he came from the side. That's what I'm talking about. I know. Alright, so I know we're about to go. So what we're gonna do is keep fighting, but in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, red still. Go out there and buy it on the Nintendo Wii. Creative director, my man Jason, thank you so much. This is the HipHopGamerShow.com. That was the Hip Hop Gamer Show. I'm out. Shout out to Hip Hop Granny. Shout out to my man Dom. Yo, I'm telling you right now, Ubisoft, you guys got a serious lineup. Competition, watch out. It's gangster. Peace.
Yeah, hip hop. Double S, you already know what it is, man. It's the news feed. And now check this out. Yo, Mariah Carey, stop. Right now. Stop before it's over. Your career, that is. Stop. Now, like, I think you're too used for your career to be over, but you will be embarrassed real bad. Shout out to my man Eminem once again putting pressure on these people, man. I'm telling you, yo. Eminem is the truth. Now, Eminem completely destroyed Mariah Carey on the Warning soundtrack. Like on the Warning track, everybody's talking about it. Now, the fact that he got like voicemails and all this other stuff going on, I can't wait. I hope you release it anyway just to do the damage. So, now I'm gonna tell you right now, if Mariah Carey does respawn, then, you know, she's calling Eminem's bluff and I would like to see it. Now, if she don't respawn, that just means he's right because she responded already. You know what I'm saying? By, you know, putting out the whole, you know, dressing up as Eminem and everything. So I guess she did that under the impression that, you know, Eminem don't got no stuff on her or kept anything. You feel me? Like, you see what I'm saying? So it's crazy right now in hip hop, man. But, you know, keep looking at that battle right there because it's about to be over. And I'm telling you right now, Nick Cannon, I believe he got an office in my building right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, or going to have an office. So, this is going to be real interesting. So, stay tuned to some footage. Because if I could get some footage that I really want to get, I'm plotting right now. Hip Hop Gamer is plotting right now. You feel me? So if I get something going on, I'm definitely going to hook my fans up. All my gangsters, you already know what it is, man. So stay tuned to that. Now, also, Jay-Z, the Blueprint 3 is turning out to be epic. Now, Blueprint 1 was incredible. Blueprint 2 was, it was good. But I think he tried to do a bit too much with the double CD and stuff like that. But Blueprint 3 is becoming the epic. So if you guys haven't checked out Run This Town with Jay-Z and Rihanna and Kanye, make sure you check it out. And we all know about Death of Autotune, so it's coming out to be great. But the thing that's greater is Before I Self-Destruct. And what I mean by greater is that battle. Like, I believe September 11th, 50 and Jay-Z supposed to be dropping at the same time. Now, a lot of people already know that Jay-Z may win this battle. You know what I'm saying? As far as, you know, who gonna sell more. And the reason why I say that is because if Kanye beat 50, I believe Jay beat 50 as far as sales. As far as album quality and content, I don't know. 50 is a monster, he's a beast, and I'll tell you right now, I still be bumping that get up. I have the sad warfare, I'm the reason everybody here, I said get up. And that's off the Before I Self-Destruct album. But also, there's a movie coming along with that. And the fact that there's a movie coming along with it, 50 Cent may very well outsell Jay-Z, unless Jay-Z try to do something similar or have some sort of incentive for the fans out there when they buy this album. So you gotta be smart, and we all know 50 is that. He got that mind, you know what I'm saying? Very clever. So stay tuned to all of that. But that's going to be a real heated battle. It's going to be like the biggest battle this year when it comes to hip-hop. So that's going to be real cool to see. But Blueprint 3, Jay-Z, he's doing it big. He's doing his thing, for real, for real. Now, Beyonce, I want to talk about this. Beyonce or Mary J. Blige? Who do you choose and why? And when I mean who do you choose, I'm talking about who do you feel is the better overall artist and why. Leave your comments, let me know what you think. I'm telling you, because I was really thinking about it. And the reason why is because Beyonce came a long way from being in a group to being her own and standing out there like that, being hot and dropping bombs consistently. Beyonce is incredible, okay? Mary J. Blige been in the game longer. This is the official queen of hip-hop. You know what I'm saying? Queen of R&B. Like, Mary J. Blige is the truth. Okay? Now, to me personally, if you was to ask me, I'll give a slight edge to Mary just because of one, longevity. She has more longevity than Beyonce, you know what I'm saying? But also, I feel she has more pain songs. Now, not to say Beyonce don't got it. I mean, Beyonce has it, period. But Mary J. Blige, considering the things that she's gone through in her life, you know what I'm saying? Like her life, her actual real life, is all over that music, and her life was so hard and is full of so much pain, more so than what Beyonce went through. You know what I'm saying? As far as her lifestyle coming up, so the pain right there is much more deeper, it cuts harder. So when you hear it in the soulfulness in Mary J. Blige's voice, you know what I mean? That alone right there, she got that gospel voice, you know what I'm saying? That church take your home voice, you know what I mean? And Beyonce, although she has a church voice too, that girl can blow, you know what I'm saying? And Beyonce, she got the dances, she got the performance techniques, she has so much stuff going for her. She's a great entertainer, she has it all. But I'll tell you this, and this is why I say what I say. Beyonce could get up there and do the uh-oh dance, flip it and do all types of stuff. Like, she is the artist, great artist. You know, but Mary J. Blige could get up there and just stand still and sing her heart out, and in my opinion, capture you in a more immersive way than what Beyonce can. And that's what I feel about it. But overall, two stunning artists, hands down. But if I had to choose, I give the slight edge to Mary J. Blige just because of those reasons. So please leave me your comments. Let me know what you think. Spread the word. Let's get it popping. Now we're going to close out the HipHopRss with my man Jay-Z, my man Kanye West. Alright? Fantasy Freestyle. One love and God bless. Your boy is out.
This is anti-auto-tune, death for the ringtone. This ain't for iTunes, this ain't for sing-alongs. This is Sinatra at the opera, bring a blonde, preferably with a fat ass who can sing a song. Wrong, this ain't politically correct. This might offend my political connects. My raps don't have melodies. This should make jackets want go and commit felonies. Get your chain tookin'. I may do it myself, I'm so Brooklyn. I know we facing a recession, but the music y'all making gon' make it the Great Depression. Or your lack of aggression. Put your skirt back down, throw a set, man. Yeah, this just violent. This is death for auto-tune, moment of silence.
How could you be so heartless? How could you be so heartless? Excuse me, was you saying something? You can't tell me nothing. You can't tell me nothing. You can't tell me nothing. Let up the suicide doors. This is my life, homie, you decide yours. I know that Jesus died for us, but I couldn't tell you who the side was. So I parallel double park that motherfucker sideways. Old folks talking about back in my day, but homie, this is my day. Class started 2 hours ago. Oh, am I late? No, I already graduated, and you can live through anything if magic made it. They say I talk with so much emphasis. Ooh, they so sensitive. Don't ever fix your lips like collagen to say something where you gon' end up apologizing. Let me know if it's a problem then. Alright, man, hollin' in. La, 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 what you like in my money? Excuse me, was you saying something? You can't tell me nothing. You can't tell me nothing.
Take over, the break's over, nigga. God MC, me, Jehovah. Hey, little soldier, you ain't ready for war. ROC too strong for y'all. It's like bringing a knife to a gunfight, pin to a test, chest in line of fire with your thin ass vest. You bringing them boys to men, them boys pull win. This is grown man B.I. Get you rolled in the triage, biatch. Your reach ain't long enough, dunny. Your peeps ain't strong enough. Fuck up, Rockefeller is the army, better get the Navy. Niggas will kidnap your baby, spit at your lady. We bring knife to fist fight, kill your drama. We kill you motherfucking ants with a sledgehammer. Don't let me do it to you, dunny, cause I overdo it. So you won't confuse it with just rap music.
Yo, kick it off like this. Hey, yo, I remember when native tongue was the shit to be. Now they real weak, they like calm, get with me. I'm about to tell you, hey, yo, don't let these streets fail you. My rhymes will swell you, the head up, I'm dead up in this piece. You rocking the leash, hiding from police, claiming what you not. The style to get you shot. I'm about to tell you, I got the rhyme straight through you. Every time I kick it, I be guaranteed to do you. Hey, yo, he like, why this unsigned nigga look richer than me? The Ross Perot type flow, what you didn't know. I got the rhyme for all my sisters and brothers. You one of the main reasons why I used to love her. I got to kick it to you, and that's the way I do you. And when I kick it off, I see these old school, old fool, old fags rocking a bootleg, fucked up tags. Watch that, you got bootleg on 63rd. I eliminate old school herbs in one word. Got to tell them now, I got to kick the rhyme. You niggas can't fuck with me, it's my time. Now let me tell you, I got to kick it off so sublime. I represented Chicago, was like, we finally got somebody that rhyme. I got to kick it straight through you in your body. You claiming John Gotti, watch me push it straight through you. I got to do it to you with the lyrics and the style. Hey yo, come on, watch me rhyme.
Playing the bang, I'm playing the bang too. You playing the games, I'm seeing the thing through. You saying my name to entertain your crew. I ain't playing no games, shots exchange through. Fresh off probation, I gotta charge the doorway. My lawyer say for 80 large to go away. And I ain't no money to Jay, so you could get it broad day on Broadway while TRL taping. You playing the game, you know you ain't gonna win. Quit playing them childish games with grown men. I don't give a f about cars or chrome rims. I got apartments you can put your home in. Can I live? Boy, trap money like beer hunters. Dear summer, I know y'all gonna miss me. Cause we go together like Nike Airs and Swiss tees. F-Dots and polo fleeces. Purple label with the logo secret. Give me a couple years, I might just sneak in. A couple words and like peaches and herb. We'll be reunited and it feels so hood. Had the whole world saying how he's still so good. While I do this in my slumber summer. I ain't none of these half-ass newcomers. You know how I do summer. I drop heat when you bring the sun up. The combo makes me sack up. I pick a gun up. Niggas back up. They know I ain't no fronter. I don't talk shit. I just flip it on ya.
We going to mass today. We have to pray. These whacking A, I have to say, since Pac passed away, most of these don't even deserve a track from me. First of all, let's get rid of them Louis Vuitton boots and get your tall ass out that C-Class coupe. You see, the whiskey had them girls feeling frisky. You was with me. She said, who's the sissy? And even if she did want to get busy, freaky like Missy and roll some weed up, you'll roll 3 blunts. You a free lunch, dog. Just keep it right there like Chingue. Your girl don't like me, how long has she been gay? Spanish girls say you know habla inglés. And everybody wanna run to me for they single. It's funny how these whack be my help. Running around when I couldn't feed myself. Dog, if I was you, I wouldn't feel myself. Dog, if I was you, I'd kill myself, man. Trips to Maui, out of town, I was outie. Rock so much polo, they start to call me Ralphie. Do me a favor, if your dollar's up, please pop your collars up. Otherwise, it look lousy. And when I come into your town, don't crowd me, keep down me. Around me. I remember last year I was supposed to perform. Everybody screaming my name, they wouldn't even allow me. Yeah, my raps is better than yours. My plaques is better than yours. My tracks is better than yours. You can have one, but I have to charge.